Mark Christopher's fitness channel. We are back. All right, guys, we'll just do a quick wrap up of the 2017 Prague. All right, top four we'll do. This is final wrap up too, and some comparison shots just quickly. All right, Nathan Asha, favorite most muscular, I think. As you can clearly see, he's a bit off here, guys. He was definitely a lot more crisper and conditioned at the Arnold Classic last week. He's carrying some water there, as you can clearly see there in the abdomen area. There's a bit of water there, but overall not too bad. But his muscles aren't really popping as much as what they were at the Arnold Classic and the Mr. Olympia. All right, guys, we'll just state here before we keep on moving on. No Phil Heath, no Sean Roden, no Big Ramy, no Brandon Curry, no Jason Ratchowitz, no Cedric Millen. There's all them people missing because they were all at the Mr. Olympia and some of them were at the Arnold Classic last week, so they're missing. So there's only a few top tier pros here at the Prague this year. All right, he's got good quads, good calves. The only problem with Nathan Asha in this pose is just water again, guys. We're going to the next one. All right, front double bicep, as you clearly see, is not as crisp and conditioned as he was last week at the Arnold Classic. His muscles just aren't. He's just definitely carrying some water there. Film of water. His muscles aren't popping as much as what they were last week. They're still there. He's still got quads and calves, and he will get there when he gets muscle maturity and definitely works on his condition. But his condition is normally pretty good. I think he might have just had an off day. Some pros do, but that's not the greatest showing by Nathan Asha. Right, next one. Rear lat spread, as you can clearly see, he's just carrying some water there. He's not as conditioned from the hams and glutes and calves, and he's clearly got some water distension there from the back, from the rear lat spread. It's not as conditioned as what we'd normally see from Nathan Asha. All right, next one. Back double bicep. Yeah, you can see the wrinkles there. If he come in a bit more condition, he might have moved up a bit. But yeah, he hasn't stopped competing for a while, I think, and he's doing back-to-back shows. He's only young too, so he'll get there when he figures out his body a bit more. But yeah, he's been probably hammering out for a while now. Probably just needs to take a break. But he's got some good delts and biceps and triceps. His lats are pretty good. They stick out. But yeah, it's overall just conditioned with Nathan Asha here. He just missed it off, and he's definitely a fair bit off from last week. That's for damn sure. All right, so that's 4th place by Nathan Asha. All right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, Dexter Jackson, he finished 3rd here, as you can clearly see. He is the blade, Dexter Jackson, definitely, but he's definitely not as crisp here as he was at the Arnold, Mr. Olympia a few weeks ago. He's carrying some water there, as you can clearly see in his quads. They're not as striated as what they normally used to be, but you have to admit, guys, he's almost 48 years old, and he's still competing. It's pretty crazy, man. But yeah, overall, I like his physique, apart from the conditioning being a little bit off. He's got good arms, good triceps. His lats, they really stick out. Muscle maturity. He's always had that nerve damage on the calves, but yeah, clearly conditioned. If he was a bit more crisper, and he might have moved up a bit more. But anyway, guys, we'll go on to the next one. All right, side chest pose. All right, it's a pretty good pose there by Dexter Jackson. He holds his own on this type of pose. If he was just a drop more conditioned, maybe just a drop more than what he was at the Mr. Olympia this year, he might have moved up maybe a drop more. But yeah, overall not too bad. He's got good chest muscles there, as you can clearly see. His triceps and biceps are really good too. He's got a good quad sweep. This condition, if he was just a bit more super peeled, he might have moved up a bit more in this placing. All right, next one. All right, rear lat spread. It's not a bad pose there, but he's clearly a little bit off from this show compared to the Olympia. He had more striated hams and glutes at the Mr. Olympia, but he's obviously still got that from the back. His lats are not too bad here either. He's just coming just a drop more conditioned. He probably would have been moved up a bit more. Right, next place. Next one, rear double bicep. All right, back double bicep. Not a bad pose there by Dexter Jackson, but you can clearly see he's just a little bit off there, just carrying some water in the back. If you just come in just a bit more tighter, it's unlikely for Blade to do that. But like I said, I haven't really seen any video footage, but just from the photos, he's just a little bit off. You can see if he just come in maybe 1 or 2% more conditioned, he might have placed a little bit higher. But yeah, 3rd place for Dexter Jackson. It's not too bad, guys. Going to the next one. All right, William Bonac. All right, he's a little bit off here from last week, guys. He was a lot more conditioned last week, and probably a little bit more conditioned at Mr. Olympia too. So he's carrying some water. He's been doing back-to-back shows too. So he's just doing the marathon here. His quads aren't as striated as what they were at the Mr. Olympia, but overall his package is still pretty good. That's most muscular there by William Bonac, but his arms and triceps they're popping, but not, you can see they're not as conditioned as what they were at the Arnold Classic last week and the Mr. Olympia. His distended, he hasn't got a distended abdomen, but he's not striated as much in the abs there, and yeah, just overall conditioning again with William Bonac probably hurt him today, and that's why he ended up finishing second. All right, go on to the next one. All right, front double bicep. It's not a bad pose there by William Bonac. He's got all the muscle groups there. It's just he's got good quads there. His calves are good. He's got a pretty complete package there. William Bonac's just conditioning again with him today. He's just a bit off, but he's doing back-to-back shows, and he'll get there. Again, he's definitely a top 3 Mr. Olympia or top 3 bodybuilder this year. That's for damn sure. Right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, favorite most muscular. If you go back to some of the photos from last week and the Mr. Olympia, he's definitely a little bit off here compared to last week. He's just maybe carrying a little bit of water, but overall not too bad there by William Bonac. That's favorite most muscular. As you can clearly see, his traps. He's got good traps. He's got good arms, good triceps, good delts. It's just conditioning with him. If he's just like 1 or 2% more conditioned, he probably would have won the show. All right, rear lat spread. Pretty good pose there. He's got pretty striated glutes and hams there. His calves are pretty good, pretty complete. If he was just like his lats are pretty good too. He's got some thickness, good thickness in the back there, William Bonac. And yeah, if it was just 1 or 2% more conditioned, he probably would have won today easily if he came in last week's condition. All right, next one. All right, back double bicep. All right, he's like I said before, he's got the muscle groups there. It's pretty thick there all over. The mass is there. It's just the conditioning with William Bonac. If he just came in just 1 or 2% more drier, he definitely would have won today, guys. But he's got every muscle group there, and in time, I just don't know where he can add on any more muscle on that frame. But yeah, once he gets his condition on point like he did last week and the week before, he'll still be top 3, but I just don't know where he can add on any more muscle mass. All right, not a bad placing there by William Bonac, second. All right, guys, here we go. Number 1, Roelly Winklaar. I was a bit surprised when I woke up this morning and saw the results, because I had Bonac and Dexter, fighting it out. That was before the show even started, but yeah, good showing here by Roelly Winklaar. He's clearly the most conditioned guy there. Front double bicep. He's a bit more conditioned than everyone else on stage. This photo doesn't really do him justice. I think if you were there, you would have seen, how much more conditioned he was. Some of the photos aren't that great, but Muscular Development and HTP and all them, they do the best that they can. But for some of the photos I've seen, as we'll get to the comparison soon, he's clearly the most conditioned guy there. He's got massive quads. His calves are there. He's got the biggest arms, man. Look at his biceps and triceps forms. They're fucking huge, man. It's crazy. He's got good lats. And yeah, just overall conditioning. He brought home this time the Camel Crew. They've done well, over there in Q8. All right. That's his stance pose. As you can clearly see just from this photo that I picked out, he is definitely the most conditioned guy there. Definitely, he's a bit more, couple of percent more conditioned than William Bonac, which is surprising. But, some bodybuilders just have a day off. And, yeah, look at his abdomen. It's all tight. He's got tight quads, his calves. His lats really pop out. He's probably the most conditioned bodybuilder there easily. All his muscles are popping, which is good, guys. On to the next one. All right, rear lat spread. All right, as you can clearly see from that, when we do the comparison round, he's definitely the most conditioned guy there. And he's even almost got striated glutes there, as you can see there, and striated hams and glutes. Glutes aren't as striated, but you can see even his calves and his hams, they're definitely more striated. And his lats, look at him, they really pop out. And his overall conditioning and his tan was really good at this guy's show. And yeah, he's pretty spot on, from the back, and his conditioning. Well done there by Roelly Winklaar. All right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, back double bicep. As you can clearly see from this photo, he's definitely the most conditioned guy there. His hams and glutes could have been maybe a drop more conditioned, but He's definitely the most conditioned guy there. Look at his lats, man. They clearly pop out. He's got some thick ridges in there. He's definitely on points. Probably the best showing from him this year. And yeah, he's definitely bringing it this time, this guys. Look at his delts and his arms and his triceps are crazy, man. Definitely the most conditioned guy there. Just by looking at the photos, you can clearly see, guys, that yeah, he deserved to win this contest. Well done to Roelly Winklaar, right? All right, that's favourite most muscular. I think that was from prejudging, and I just wanted to chuck that up because I couldn't really find one from the finals. But good stuff there by Roelly Winklaar. You clearly see he's the most conditioned guy there. His quads, his calves, he's not carrying much water at all, guys, and he deserved the first place today. Well done, Roelly Winklaar. He's been battling at it for years. I'm pretty sure he's almost 40 years old, but man, he needs the money, man. He's been grinding it out for years. Well done to him, you know. Maybe Dexter Jackson and William Bonac. You got to give the guy props for that. All right, well, that's favourite most muscular. That's crazy, man. Good pose there by Roelly Winklaar. All right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, we'll go on to the comparison round. Sorry about the photos. They're a bit dodgy. I had to cut in here and there. This one is perfect, but I'll tell you the other ones I had to cut the swap because they didn't really have all three of these guys, and I couldn't really get Nathan Diash. It was just a bit hard to get them all in there at once, especially for the finals anyway. All right, this isn't really doing Roelly Winklaar justice here. He's not really full into the motion there. I'd probably have to give this one to probably William Bonac just on overall size and just the way he's posed. His muscles are clearly popping out here. Maybe a drop better, but if I had a better pose by in the full motion of Roelly Winklaar, he probably would have won this pose. But then again, William Bonac's structure is just very nice, as you clearly see his quads and calves compared to Roelly Winklaar. It's just a bit of a difference there in the structure and genetics. But yeah, he's probably on par with the arm department with Roelly Winklaar too, William Bonac. It's just conditioning. You can clearly see Roelly Winklaar he beats everyone else in this pose just on conditioning, and it really does win over sometimes. The blade, well, you know, he's always there, man. So much we can say about him. He looks crisp there. He looks better in the finals here because I've got some finals photos of him. But I think the prejudging just hurt him just a drop, and he's just carrying a little bit more water. He's not as condition as what he was at the Mr. Olympia, but he's got, I like his 3D look there. It's pretty crazy, man, by Dexter Jackson. All right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, front double bicep. Sorry about the photos again, guys. We had to cut in here just so we can get these three together. All right, Roelly Winklaar, as you can clearly see, he's got just a drop more condition than all the other guys. He's just a bit more tighter. William Bonac definitely did tighten up a little bit in the finals, but I think the prejudging just really hurt him today. Look at his arms. Roelly Winklaar are just crazy, man. They're thick. Look at him. They're definitely, you know, he does his well, but Dexter Jackson really holds his own here. You know, he's super peeled there. You know, God, it's pretty close poses, and I'll probably almost give it to Dexter Jackson here, just because the way his muscles are popping out. He came in a bit more conditioned at the finals, but yeah, it's all about posing, guys. If you can pose your muscles properly, it always looks like an illusion up on stage. But overall, I'll probably have to give it to Dexter Jackson here, just because it's just a pleasing, more physique to look at, and yeah, well done there to Dexter Jackson. All right, rear lat spread. All right, this is when it gets interesting, guys. As you can clearly see from the back, Roelly Winklaar has got the most conditioned. If you look at his skin, it's just super peeled. Even his hams are a little bit more conditioned than what they normally were. The glutes, again, he'll get there. I don't know if he ever will be able to fix that, but he's definitely worked on his hams here. Sorry about the calves, they're not in here, but his overall thickness from the lats, look from the back compared to William Bonac, as you clearly see, it's just the thickness, the ridges, they just stick out his lats compared to William Bonac there. And yeah, just you look at the conditioning from William Bonac to Roelly Winklaar, it's day and night. You can clearly see Roelly Winklaar winning this pose. Dexter Jackson holds his own here. He's got striated glutes and hams. And yeah, that's a tough one there. I'd probably still give it to Roelly Winklaar just on condition. But, you know, Dexter Jackson, man, a bit surprised there. You know, he probably could have almost put him second, really, just by looking at his comparisons. He looks a little bit more conditioned than William Bonac. But yeah, I think maybe the prejudging hurt Dexter a bit, but yeah, oh well. Definitely have to give it to Roelly Winklaar here, just on more condition, and he definitely held his own here in this pose. Well done, Roelly Winklaar. Right, we'll go on to the next one. Right, back double bicep. This is when it gets interesting here, as you can clearly see. There's a lot more condition here in the back here from Roelly Winklaar, but Dexter Jackson, I don't know, man, it's a tough one, eh? I'd still give it to Roelly Winklaar just on condition, but, you know, Dexter Jackson, I think he got hammered a bit here, guys, you know. He could have almost been second, but maybe the prejudging hurt him. But conditioning up. See, I didn't really see him in the photos, but yeah, he done well there. Roelly Winklaar, when you look at it from the back, he won here on condition. I don't know about thickness. I'll still probably give it to Dexter, man, just by the lats. He clearly said that they're sticking out, but genetically, Roelly Winklaar, his lats do stick out very well here. He's got the biggest arms. Look at his delts, his triceps, and his biceps. That clearly trounces Dexter Jackson, but Dexter Jackson, he's got the glutes there and the hamstrations, but it's just, I think maybe just the conditioning of Roelly Winklaar. He was in prejudging and the finals. I think he was just too far ahead for Dexter Jackson to, make a comeback. But overall, yeah, man, that's a tough pose there. And William Bonac is clearly carrying some water there, and he could have come in a bit more condition. But yeah, this is a tough one. This one, probably I would still give it to Roelly Winklaar, but man. But if you look at the overall comparisons and all that, Roelly Winklaar was done well, but Dexter Jackson, he definitely got a little bit hammered here, I think. But well done to Roelly Winklaar. He grinded it out. He ended up getting a win. So yeah, good stuff there by Roelly Winklaar. And there you have it, guys. That's the 2017 Prague wrap up. Good stuff there by Roelly Winklaar. He was clearly the most conditioned guy there, and he deserved the win. And so yeah, fourth and 18th, Asha. Third, Dexter Jackson. Second, William Bonac, and first, Roelly Winklaar. Well done, mate. That's my wrap up for the Prague 2017. Mark Christopher's Fitness Channel. I am out.